some sort of walk contact between somebody, I'm not sure exactly what, but up the hill at the moment, the Ferrari of Revo all over the back of Bands goes to the outside. There's going to be a drag race, and I think Electrician's going to get involved as well here. They're going to be 3 wide as they go up towards Lecom. Electrician go between the two of them, they bang wheels, and Bands gets it at the moment. Revo trying to hang it around the outside. He has the inside for the left-hander, and he pushes Electrician off the track at the moment of about 0.4 of a second, but he's not going to have it for long because Revo has the Slipstream. He has the DRS. Going to be very close between the two of them. Bands covers the inside, Revo's to the outside. Electrician looking forward as well. Revo's done it. All right, a very warm welcome to everyone for ZAMAJORS SRL round 12, the Hungarian Grand Prix. I'm Terror Incognita. With me for this one, as per usual, is Thimo Brown.
Hello.
How are you doing, Thimo?
Hello, I'm doing great, and I'm pretty excited about what will happen in Hungary because it's a bit... I think it's a hard track, and especially as we're running this on a strict, smooth transition. There will probably be a lot of penalties, and the drivers will definitely have to be careful, so there could be a lot of chaos going on, some switcheroo in the positions due to penalties. It will be an interesting one. I'm pretty optimistic.
Yep, I think that's absolutely right. We're on board with Tipsy Bob at the moment as we join him on his first flying lap around the Hungaroring, coming towards the end of the first sector now. It's tight and twisty in the first sector. This little left-hander here is very tricky. And then there's a long right-hander towards the chicane. Tipsy misses the apex there, runs a little bit wide. That'll cost him a little bit of time into the chicane. A right-left. Can't cut the corner there. You get penalties for doing that. Then the most challenging part of the course. These medium left-right twisty bits here. This left-hander is flat, but this right-hander is really difficult. Again, he missed the apex by a little bit, running a little bit wide out onto the left-hand curve. Again, you can't go too wide there. Otherwise, you get a penalty. Then down the hill towards that right-hander there. A little bit of oversteer on the curb, then around the long left-hander. This is the penultimate corner. The pit lane entry will be on the right. Don't go down there. And then the final corner, very, very long. And onto the front straight. Again, Tipsy crosses the line. He goes P2 on a 1:16.8. And that is a good lap. So that's a lap of the Hungaroring. And well, as you'll see, I think we'll see, as Thimo said as well, we're going to be expecting a lot of penalties today, and I would imagine that this track is going to catch a lot of people out. Oh, it's caught somebody out already. Who is that? Was that Rivos? Has he retired? It was Rivos, and he has retired.
Wow, that's quick.
Quite unfortunate. So, 1 second. Okay, so Ocean says it is a dry race and dry qualifying session, so we are all good from that front. No threat of rain or anything like that. So a couple of new people we've got as well for this race. This man right here, Zintax from South Africa. It's an all South African Toro Rosso team now with Wimpy as well. So these two are, well, Wimpy's relatively new, but Zintax, this is his first race.
Exactly. I've just done the stream after I've just shared the stream link and everything. So now I'm back and also I can also take a look at the action. For tires, it's a one-stop, and a lot of people try to do a cheeky strategy going onto a harder compound. At the moment, oh my god, I'm getting bugged. So Copy is on soft tires. Wow, this is disgusting. Copy is on soft tires, and he's currently running in P5 in his Alpha Sauber. Behind him is Sergios, the current championship leader. He is in P6 with mediums, and behind him is Bands in P7 on softs.
Yeah, I don't know about these strategies. I think because it's a two-step again. Oh, as we see, was that Speedy? No, it wasn't Speedy. It was the other Haas then of Hugo's in that case. running over the chicane. But it's a two-step jump between the qualifying tyre and the race tyres. Again, it's ultra soft all the way to softs. So the ultra softs are a lot faster, like a second and a half faster. And that time from Copy presumably is quite a good lap on the softs, but that's not going to be enough to get him anywhere near the top 10, I would imagine, for the race itself. Because of the number of cars that are going to go out on ultra softs. Although, I mean, not that many are, it seems, at the moment. There's only, well, Briggy's done the fastest lap, and there's Zintax, there's Gloves and Steering Wheel, Tipsy Bob, all on ultras. Wimpy's done a lap on ultras as well. But otherwise, I don't know. I mean, it feels like, but it's one of those things where it really matters how many people do qualify on ultras, because if everyone qualifies on ultras and you don't, then you're in real trouble because you're going to be at the back of the grid. But if relatively few people do, and you can get yourself a good grid slot and be at the front of those with soft or medium tyres, then you might be in a good situation.
Yeah. Copy is now up into P3, and also I think I haven't paid too much attention to this point, admittedly, but I think the whole lot of people who haven't set a time yet are probably either people who don't want to use their harder compounds yet, because if you choose to go for the strategy with the harder composition of weakened tires, then you only get one set of softs and one set of mediums and two sets of ultra softs for the qualifying. So either they are waiting for better times to qualify on these, or they may have lost their time due to an invalidation that was the result of going off track at a point and getting a corner cutting penalty or track extending penalty. And I think that should be the reason why there's 7 people who haven't set a time yet in 8 minutes into the session, because normally at that time you should have at least one run. Etney is setting himself up for a lap. Maybe you should go on board with him, and let's have a look how he does on his set of soft tires, because obviously he is trying to mirror the strategy that the other frontrunners, championship frontrunners, are currently using with the harder compound. So now he goes onto the start-finish straight. I also searched for a track map, and it turns out either you only found bad ones, or this track genuinely has no corner names.
Yep, I don't think it does. I'm just trying to think if there's... Is one of the corners a Mansell corner after...
That's very
Nigel
well
Mansell?
possible.
I don't remember though, but I don't know any others, to be honest. I think it might be this one coming up that's the Mansell corner, but I don't remember.
Four track maps were all completely empty when it comes to corner names, and they are the same layout as the ones I used for Hockenheim. Oh, that was... you could call that a
likely
cut.
To be a cut. I'm not sure. He
Yeah,
seems to be still on it. So
I mean, he put 4 wheels off, to be honest. They were on the curb, but still.
Oh yeah, he's back right off. Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, so that was a validation that gives him the disadvantage of a bit more wear on these tires without having a lap. That's not that good. Now we'll have a look if he follows it up with another lap immediately. No, he comes into the pits. So what will he be doing now? Oh, he had a bit of a moment there. He's got some options now. I think going for the mediums isn't really an option. So either he maybe qualifies on the ultra softs, or he just reuses the soft tires. But the problem is, if he gets into the top 10, which is to be assumed considering his pace, then he will have some extra laps on that on these tires, 2 extra laps to be exact. With the qualifying run he uses in the end, it will probably be around. It will be 5 laps, and I think that's. Yeah, I mean that's a bit.
Yeah,
so
I think it's really difficult to justify, to be honest, going on to the soft tires at all, because you're not going to be in the top 10 if you do that. As Bantz goes fastest on a 15.6, we saw that on board. So Bantz doing a pretty good lap there. But I mean,
puts himself ahead of Briggy.
Yeah, that's true. Briggy did a very good lap, did it very early on. But oh, is Bant's disconnected? What happened there then? Oh no, he's not. Okay, it just glitched for me for a second. Don't know why.
Oh,
but,
great!
But
I never saw that.
His lap on the soft was a 1:17.5, which, I mean, I don't know whether it was just a better lap on the ultra softs, but I mean, it doesn't seem too far away from how much faster the ultra soft is. Like, it probably is a second and a half faster or thereabouts. As gloves and steering wheel, I think, is gonna get his lap invalidated for running a bit wide in the left-hander. I'm not sure, but we will see.
Also,
but sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's not really important, but also we've got the Briggy fan squad in the live chat at the moment.
Nice. We'll keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on what Briggy's doing then.
Yeah, I'll occasionally look into the YouTube live comment section. So, chatting a bit with us won't hurt anyone. We did friends, please. Okay. So
Jesse on a fast one here. He's going to be crossing the line. He's on the ultras, so it's a question of whether he can get in front of some of the soft runners. Although there seems to be a slow lap.
Maybe. And he puts himself in. Was that already the finish line? No.
No, I think that was actually an out lap. That was my bad.
So now this is turn 1. Yeah, I'm searching for a corner name now, but probably nothing to be found.
Yeah, I don't remember there being any, or is Jesse is going to have to abandon this lap because he made a major mistake in turn 3, so he's going to have to back right off there. Here is Etney on the soft tyres. So has he gone back out on the same soft tyres? I feel like he might have done. Because you don't get 2 sets. You never get 2 sets, do you? You only get 1 set of soft tyres. So
yeah, exactly.
These must be the same tyres.
Yeah, that's giving him the problem I described earlier. Now you've got some extra there that was used. Yeah, it was basically wasted.
I mean, we'll see what this lap is, but I can't imagine that he's going to want to start the race on these tyres, even if it is towards the back end of the top 10. He's pushing pretty hard though. Should be the final couple of corners now. He's going to take a wide swing into the final corner. He's getting as much traction as possible into the back straight. He might have invalidated himself there. No, he didn't. He's on P4 on a 1:16.2, which is very, very fast on the soft tyres.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Sergios has also done a very fast lap.
What is Jesse doing? Okay, that's exactly 2/10 ahead of his main rival in the championship, Sergios. I will quickly get up the championship table to be able to feed you with more information about how the race may affect the championship. But I think at the moment it's pretty straightforward. Etney is on a rush to try and close the gap Sergios has built towards the end of the season.
Yep, absolutely. It's I think the gap's about 20 points, something like that. I don't remember. Is it more than that? Okay.
It is. So Sergios, I don't know. Wait. Yeah, that looks like Hockenheim in the background. I trust Anonymous on this one. Sergios is in P1 currently with 194 points, and then far way down the order comes Speedy in second with 159. So that makes
so Etney's not even second in the championship.
Yes, he isn't.
Yet.
That makes it 35 points between Speedy and Sergios, and then even 12 points down from Speedy is Etney TRN. So he is, 74.
47, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard because, in German it's the other way around, but 47.
Yeah. I'm at university, by the way. Yeah, so that's a pretty big gap to close.
Oh, Briggy's gone fastest at some point as well. We've got 2.5 minutes in this left in this session, by the way, so not very long to go.
Considering we're past the halfway mark of the season, this is round 12. We've got 21 races in total, so it would be enough it would obviously be enough if Etney would win every single race from now on, and Sergios would finish every single race from now on second. But how realistic that is a different story. So his championship chances are definitely there, but he's facing quite a challenge.
Yep, absolutely. We've seen some things happen to Sergios in previous races. We saw in Hockenheim and crashing into the pole at the end of the pit lane, and having to start from the back of the grid.
And then even in turn 1, so last race obviously wasn't too good for Sergios, but he's such a good driver, so he could recover back up to P2, only behind Etney.
Yep, absolutely.
It was a close one in the end.
So Vance crossed the line, did not improve on his lap.
Drivers who are now taking it really at the last second. There's some coming out of the pits. They will have to set even a quick outlap.
I think they're okay. It's only a 1 minute 15 lap, so as long as you've crossed the line by like 1 minute 20, something like, you come out of the pits about 1 minute 20, something like that, I think you're probably all right.
2 Ferraris in the runoff at turn 1.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, Vance, in fact, they're both retired. Both Ferraris retired. Jason has abandoned his lap.
Currently really in a good position. Let me have a look. Where are they in the Constructor Championship?
So we're going to stay on board, I think, with Sergios, who, and you can see the situation with the tyres at the moment. In fact, we'll switch it to the best. So this is the tyre they qualified on so far. Etney is the only one who's qualified above, well, he's 6th, so the only one to qualify in the top 6. Only 2 in the top 10. Sergios, this man here, is one of them, as he gets a little bit wrong on the exit of turn 1, gets a little bit of oversteer. So, I don't know, qualifying from 6th, like, would you take that? I'm not sure I'd take that, because there's every chance that you're going to get caught up in all sorts of accidents and incidents if you start that far down.
Also, another thing, has the driver lineup been sent to you? The new one?
Yes, it has.
Okay. So we're... Oh, I didn't even know Tipsy was full-time again and now in McLaren, so basically where he is at home. Well,
feels good to see Tipsy in a McLaren. He's raced in a McLaren so much into SRL, of course, so good to see him back in a McLaren.
Yeah, well, Benz is still one of the red guys. Also, J-Rox has now got the full-time drive besides the other Mercedes of Sergios.
So we're going to see Sergios here cross the line, and I wonder if he's going fastest of all. I think he is. Yep, he does, on a 1 minute 15.1. So Sergios claims what I think will be pole position. Anonymous, I guess, is still on a fast lap. Runs a little bit wide on the exit of the right-hander, might get away with that. Now into the last couple of corners, we'll ride on board. Going to take a wide sweep into this left-hander, gets
So
a
10 seconds left for him, basically.
Yeah, he's going to be able to complete this lap. He crossed the line with almost no time remaining. He crosses the line and goes P6.
A good time. Yeah, P6. Wasn't that where he was before? Not quite sure.
I might have been. He certainly didn't improve by much if he did. So
Whitby is still on a lap, but that lap is only 51 seconds down on his current fastest lap.
Yeah, I think he's...
in other words, no.
He's going back to pit lane, I believe, with as little tyre wear as possible. Fuel, I think that's his idea, although maybe no fuel as well, although he's starting 17, so tyre wear doesn't matter. But the big story is that Etney, who's won the last couple of races here, is starting P9, and I don't think that's where he'll want to be. I think if you're going to invest in putting those soft tyres on, I think you want to be a little bit further up the grid than that, because that is a bad place to be. You're going to be in the pack, you're going to be losing all sorts of time, and you're going to have those soft tyres on, so you're going to be slower at the start of the race as well.
Yeah, he'll have a fast... also a fast rival, but he'll have a hard task. And not letting Sergio slip away, because obviously there's no one in front of Sergio who can hold him up. Maybe Speedy or even Briggy gets the better launch of the line and then takes P1 ahead of turn 1, and so they can hold him up and get him into a battle. So Etney can slowly slice through the field and get up the order, or Sergios will be able to drive in clean air. Drive ahead, lead the field, and that puts Etni under pressure because he has to utilize that tire situation to close the gap.
Yep, he might even be able to make up a pit stop by doing that, Sergios, if he's two-stopping. I don't know whether he will be two-stopping.
I mean, so we talked to Benz before the race, and he told us it's a one-stop is definitely what you want to do. And now he's on the ultra soft, so I think ultras onto medium should be possible. And if you go supers on the, if you go supers in the beginning of the race, you do you last half the distance? Even if you do, you have to finish it with mediums, as you can't pick.
Well, the other thing is that I wonder whether anybody's going to be tempted to put on an extra set of ultra softs, because if you go ultras to softs, that can work too, because the ultra is just so much faster that it gets you most of the way through that pit stop. And if you've got clear air in doing that as well, that might be something that the drivers are tempted to do. I'm not sure.
Is Kirst driving? No, he is.
Kirst is...
Is he?
I can't see him. Why is he not driving?
No, he's not driving. He's in the chat.
Milos Martiga, yeah, he's in the chat. So
yeah, that's
not
why
driving.
I was wondering. Also, Sergios was in the chat, and he's happy about his pole. Definitely deserved,
yep.
Of course.
With good reason.
Yes.
So we got Briggy in third place. We've not really seen Briggy mixing it up with the leaders up till now. We've seen his pace in a couple of times in Austria and Germany, most notably. But we've not really seen him battling the leaders.
I didn't know he did drive in Austria. I thought it was his debut in Hockenheim.
Ah, maybe it was. Maybe who am I getting confused
I don't know.
with
I didn't watch Austria, to be honest. No offense, of course. Whoa, that was hella close between Speedy and Sergios. They almost came together. That would have been a bit of a thing. A bit of a.
Oh,
thing
somebody
to rage
spins
about.
out. Who's that? It's just spun out at the back of the grid. That was Michael.
Yeah, we've got. Yeah, only.
Oh my gosh.
If you... Oh, Speedy left the session, his game crashed. He restarts the game, Michael disqualified. Speedy might be out of this.
Well, my game crashed as well, so I'm back now. It's okay. It didn't crash. So
wow.
yeah, Speedy. All right, let's try this.
Tragic.
Let's try this again. All right, so Speedy presumably is not there. Is he there?
I don't know.
Let
me have a look at the back of the field again.
Yeah, no, he's not there. He's not there.
Oh no!
Absolutely, definitely not there. So we've got a disconnected Speedy at the front of the grid. Here we go, away we go. We're on board with Triton from P7. Good start from Bantz, who just about manages to look up the inside of Briggy. Tries for a bite of Slipstream again as they head down towards turn 1. And you see the Ghost of Speedy trying to get out of the way there. What happened with the leaders? Oh, somebody spun around. Briggy spun around. And Sergio seemed to get through unscathed. I don't think anyone else did, though. Bantz might have spun Speedy around as Zintax gets himself a screen freeze there as well. So, wow, what a chaotic start. Didn't really get a good look there. Triton is third, though.
Triton in third. And Etni's in P15. So yeah, it went horribly wrong for him. He now takes basically the role Sergios has had in the last race.
So does he have all of his front wing? That's the question.
So now it will definitely be damage limitation. I can't see it, but
I think he's missing a bit of front wing as well.
River's struggling a bit now. River's running across the curb, and that basically gifts the position over to Etni. He's now in P14. Yeah, he looks like his car has got a lot of understeer, because he's now getting attacked by Vinny, or Winnie is at least really close up behind him. Will he have a look? No, he won't. He proves that.
So I wonder if he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap, because that's a big disaster for Etni. He's gone on those soft tyres, and we said about an incident in the first couple of laps, and what a disaster that would be, and that's exactly how it's happened. So I don't know if he's not pitting. Anonymous is pitting, so he's got some sort of damage, as we see a battle for second going on. Jason trying to fend off the two Ferraris. Bantz alongside his teammate now as they head down towards turn 2, and I think he's got him. He has. So,
yeah, he's got him right there outside. Triton slots in behind him. A bit of a lockup by Zintax there, but that's fine. Where is it close on track? Michael is really close behind Hugos.
I'm going to keep the camera up here.
Pitted? No, he hasn't. But he runs wide again. I think he might have got some damage, but I can't tell you how much. Also, the view I got of his front wing so far. Okay, there's definitely something missing on the left. I think, yeah, a left M plate might be missing.
Yeah, he's going to be struggling in that case because he's got to come through the field as well, remember, and he's got to pass some ultra soft shod cars to do that.
Also, I feel like, wait, where's Sergius on track for you?
Sergius is in the last corner. He's exiting the last corner now.
But I thought I had a bugged car again, because the problem is Sergius, the interval between Jason and Sergius for me is...
it seems to be fixing itself now.
Now it's fixed. Okay.
It is a 4-second lead though at the end of...
about it, and Ben's not
2 laps.
Having a look, better that way. Oh, he sticks his nose down the inside, and now he prepares himself to get it, to get the position maybe towards turn 2. He is already...
Oh, DRS just yet. Jason runs a little bit wide, a little bit of contact between them. Vance has to back out of it.
They were side by side, but then he got squeezed or pushed a bit. Didn't make that move stick. That's not a place where you want to overtake. So it's also no place where you really want to run closely behind someone. Yugos is really close behind Tipsy Bob. Tipsy Bob has had a good start. Yugos has had a good start. Yugos is in P7. A Briggy with the first penalty. It's 9 positions. Yugos has gained 9 positions, so he's probably the winner of the start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tipsy has gained 5 positions up from PL.
P11.
Oh, and Syntax!
And down the inside goes Vance on Jason again. It's so difficult to pass here. Jason hangs it around the outside. He's going to have the inside to the next left-hander, and I think Vance is going to have to back out once again.
Triton, no. Okay. Triton is really locking, so if Vance makes a mistake or gets his line or his run compromised by a lot, then he might get into trouble with his teammate. Or maybe Triton thinks, yo, I'm going to wingman this. Vance running...
Slipstream
on the outside.
Jason turning right in.
Jason understeers into him, and Triton puts his car down the inside. Now they are 3 wide going towards turn 2. Vance with the...
This has to end in tears.
Jason again understeering into them. They are still side by side.
And the inevitable accident. Vance retires. Oh no. Well, it was such hard racing between the 3 of them. It was going to end in tears pretty much whatever happened, and it's Vance who gets knocked out of the race.
Tipsy Bob P3, Yugos P4. What a... Oh my god. That was a collision. I can't tell you who is to blame. Oh no, 5 seconds for Yugos.
Yugos, I think, got 5 seconds for passing whoever that was under the yellows, but I mean, that will be taken off, I assume. Although that'll be in the pit stop one, so he can't take it off. That's unfortunate for him. But wow, so Sergios is now 9 seconds ahead of second place Syntax.
Michael sends it down the inside of Jason, claiming P5. I feel like
Jason has to be damaged.
Yeah. Oh, and Michael!
Oh, Michael gets it all
some
wrong.
Sick Gymkhana action. Oh my god!
Gets it all
and
Triton
wrong. dives down to the pit. Jason stays out. So Jason's front wing maybe not damaged that much. Vance pretty much. I bet he's frustrated at the moment. I will ask him about his view on the incident.
So in terms of the general state of the race, Sergios is so far ahead. You can see 9.5 seconds now between him and Syntax in second place. He is on the Ultras, so he's going to have to pit quite soon as Syntax gets a little bit of oversteer there. But then Tipsy and Hugos are in such a good position, 3rd and 4th at the moment, and they're on the soft tyres, so it might be 1 less pit stop for those 2 compared to the leader. I'm not sure they're going to be able to make up, or I'm not sure they're going to be able to bridge that 10-second gap, but certainly for a podium, Tipsy is in quite a good position right now. /LP with a penalty down the order. So I mean, we saw what happened with Vance. It was pretty unfortunate, but they were racing so hard, and somebody was going to have to.
I wonder if stewards will have a look on that, because Vance is answering me in English. Lol. Okay. I think I won't quote him directly, but he said that Jason, that he's not too happy about the driving in this battle, because he in his opinion, he kept getting pushed off track and Triton as well by Jason. So, and his last sentence was, of course, it would end like this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, like I called it a corner before that. It was always going to end like that. The way the three were racing.
Really. One thing you definitely can say is that something that definitely happened is the fact that Jason kept running a bit wide when there was someone on his outside. Maybe he just missed the apex, or he tried to block them. I don't know. Yeah, probably one of these. So, oh, Yugos and Tipsy are pretty close.
Yeah, they've been having a little bit of a battle for the last lap or so.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Looking to get past, but the other person who's just behind those two now, or 5 seconds or so behind those two, is Etni. He has been making up ground, and of course all the ultra soft runners now, with the exception of Sergios, Michael and Ocean Chief, have all pitted. So it's just the soft runners now who are towards the front of the grid. But
Rivers just passed Michael going out off the track, going around the outside, and Michael oversteers into the barrier, but doesn't lose any part of his car. But that was a moment, so Michael can probably be glad that he didn't die there. Sergios, meanwhile, in the pit, so lap 7 for softs.
So Sergios,
So Etni might still be in this.
Well, he might, but I mean, he's only just ahead of Sergios on track, and presumably he has some damage. So I'm not sure he's in that great a position. Sergios, of course, coming out just in front of that gaggle of 3 cars, which will help him a lot. He won't have to pass them.
I wouldn't call his position great, but he might still be in this if something happens to Sergios. Something minor could fix this issue if Sergios somehow had managed to drag these tires and make it a one-stop, which I can't judge because I have no idea how the strategies will work. I only have got Dance's input from before the race.
Well, Sergios must be on a 2-stop. There's no way you can get the softs to the end of the race, I'm pretty sure. So I think he's on a 2-stop, and it might be
he is.
either another set of softs or another set of ultras for his final stint. Probably another set of softs.
Yellow flags behind Rivers. Ocean Chief. A lot of cars are running wide on one particular corner, but of course, because the Hungary rain...
The right-hander there, Ocean Chief does get a penalty. So I think Sergios now is going to pass Etni because Etni's on older tyres and has that damage. So Etni goes to the inside, Sergios to the outside. This is for P3. And Etni tries to brake a little bit later on the inside, but Sergios just much more traction and much more straight line speed. He gets around the outside and makes that pass easily in turn 1. So Sergios now 3rd on track.
Meanwhile, behind they are fighting now 4 cars into turn 2. Slash LP is getting the worst out of that. And Vinny and Copy were still side by side. I think they had a bit of wheel into sidepod contact. Now they are going, doing the run towards turn 4, that is. Copy running a bit wide, and now it's Slash LP up his rear wing. So directly behind him. They are now going into that S-like chicane. I don't know how to describe it better.
It's a chicane.
It's a chicane, and it kind of looks like an S, but also like a Z. I don't know.
Most chicanes do, to be fair. But but this, so Vinny seems to have gotten himself a little bit of a gap for P5 at the moment. So Copy and Slash LP just behind them. Michael gets himself a penalty as well, but he's way down the order. So nothing much doing there. But Sergios has made up so much time in the last lap or so, catching Hugos and Tipsy, who are running 1 and 2 on track. But I don't think that's a net 1 and 2, because I think Sergios is going to be on them and pass them within a couple of laps, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's really impressive, the show he's putting on here. And Hugo's still unable to get ahead of Tipsy. Michael retires.
I've seen Michael struggling a lot.
Oh yeah, he lost a wheel. So it was exactly in the same spot where he kissed the wall beforehand.
Oh, who was that? Hugos has spun. Hugos has spun in the right-hander from what was P2, and he's getting back on track now. He's lost several seconds though. So Hugos, we didn't see what happened. We only saw the flash of Haas one following El Sergios, but that's a free position for El Sergios. He gets Hugos, and Hugos falls behind Etni as well for P3.
And if Hugos can't keep up the pace he is currently got, then he might fall into the clutches of that battle group from reaching all the way down from P5 to P8. Well, not P8 anymore. Wimpy has lost the connection to this battle group and is now getting approached by Syntax, his fellow
Sergios
compatriot
passing
and
Tipsy for the lead down into turn 1.
Briggy, that's probably more important, but Briggy also just has taken Rivos.
So that's for P11, but this for the lead up here. Tipsy is trying to hang on to the back of Sergios, but Sergios is going to be much faster, and he runs wide a little bit there in the right-hander. So Sergios has a clear track now.
Yeah, as it looks, Wimpy just surrendered his position to Syntax. I didn't see it happening on track, but it looked like Wimpy was going really slow, so I think it's possible that he might have just handed over that position to his teammate.
Yep, very likely. The two South Africans working together. So the closest battle now, I think, for the first few... Well, I think Briggy's going to be passing Jason quite soon, although Jason has fresher tyres, so maybe not. But this battle for P5, 6 and 7 between Vinny, Copy and /LP, these guys are all on the same tyres. So we'll see what... I don't know how close we are to the pit window here. I imagine it'll be a few more laps for the soft runners, but probably not much more than another 3 or 4 laps.
One thing I have lost track of completely is what is going on with Speedy.
As far as I know, he's completely disconnected.
He's disconnected.
He's completely disconnected, so he's not come back. So no points for Speedy, unfortunately.
Oops. And now Jason is going down the inside. Oh, Briggy sends it. That was an audacious move. And he sends it down the inside of Wimpy and Jason as Jason tries to pick up the safe position of Wimpy. Briggy is like, hello, boys, I'm also there. Let me throw myself into the store.
All over the back of the Force India, coming down into the right-hander now. Is he going to have a look up here? Jason covers the inside. Briggy goes to the outside, a little bit of contact.
Pushes him a bit wide there, but fair to him.
Yeah, I think that was fine.
Give space here. Rivers in P13 with a penalty. Triton after the collision is down in P12. Yeah.
So Jason defending from Briggy, and Briggy seems to have had to back off a little bit. I don't know if he's struggling with those tyres or if he's just a little bit, and might even have some damage. Briggy, he's been throwing that car around a lot and he's not pitted yet. So he was caught in that turn 1 accident, of course, on the very first lap. Meanwhile, up front, we have... Well, this is the battle for 5th again. Vinny, Copy and /LP still running in formation. /LP looking to the inside, but nothing doing that. But up front, Sergios now has a lead of 5 seconds, and I'm really struggling to see how this race is going to go any other way than his this evening. I think with that pole position on the ultra soft tyres, I think he's gotten himself a big enough lead that he'll be able to stop again without any problem at all.
Rivers, Anonymous and Wimpy are closely battling it out at the moment. Turn 3, and Anonymous has gone round the outside of Rivers, so he's now in P13. And Rivers runs off track. You probably didn't expect Anonymous to brake at the position where he broke, or maybe he just outbraked himself. That's also a possibility. Wimpy is now on the inside, and Anonymous looks to get that position around the outside now.
Oh, Etni pits. Etni pits from P3.
Etni pits from P3.
So where's he coming out? So he's probably going to feed into that battle, or just ahead of it, down the order. He's probably going to come out 12th, something like that. A lot of places to lose. Is he going to go onto the medium tyres? I imagine he is. Yep, they look like medium tyres to me. So Etni...
Briggy, Triton. Yeah, he will probably yeah, as you said correctly.
Oh, and he had to change his wing as well, so he did have damage.
Okay.
So,
and Jesse getting a 3-second penalty, but he's down in P17 and he's out in P14.
yeah.
15 even, after he
Just
rejoins behind gloves and
Oh.
steering wheel. And yeah, given his general pace as a driver, it's safe to say that he will be forced to get his way to overtake all these cars.
Yeah.
Probably the positions he will reach for in the stint are like about P10. Triton, Briggy will maybe be close.
It's a huge disaster for Etney, because not only is he on the one stop and he's had the incident in turn 1 and the damaged car for the first stint, but he's lost time in the pit stop, and he's now going to lose time passing all of those cars who are all on much older tyres.
Oh, there's a car! Anonymous and Wimpy! Anonymous and Wimpy both spun, and I think it was pretty independently, so because it was one corner later that Wimpy spun.
Well, there's bits of Toro Rosso all over the track, so Wimpy definitely has damage.
Yeah, he put it on. Yeah, he really put it in the wall.
Oh, big battle in the turn 1. /LP down the inside of Copy for 4th. I'm not sure who was originally ahead there, but Zintax now looking at as well behind them. Copy side by side running into turn 2.
Copy is on the inside. Zintax locking up a bit, but clean. They don't bang tires. They are keeping it clean. Vinny is up ahead now, entering turn 4. /LP not able to do something about that. They are a pretty exciting battle group at the moment, and they are well behind Tipsy, who's still running in second. How are Tipsy's chances for a podium?
Yep, I think they're extremely good. I think he's got a big gap now. He's got nearly 9 seconds between himself and Vinny.
Let me have a look at the tire situation. So he had no stop.
Yeah, but all of the drivers behind haven't either.
So
yeah. So he's in a very good position.
The only ones from this battle group who have made a stop are the only one is Syntax.
Yeah.
And maybe behind Jason, but he's not quite in that battle group. He's following behind in a safe distance of like 2 seconds. Let me go back to the interval mode.
Yeah, I think Jason will catch that group.
And Copy leaves the battle group and goes into the pits. So he's now making his first and only pit stop, going on over to the mediums.
Yep.
And killing off my ears by having high revs.
So we're certainly in the window now for the soft runners.
Rivers and Copy into turn 1. Copy with a far superior. Wait.
Well, we got /LP and Vinny as well, who are side by side coming out of turn 2. So down towards turn 4. This is for 3rd position. /LP is clipping that apex and managing to stay ahead, but he does get himself a penalty for it because he went a bit wide there in the left-hander. So Vinny managing to force that mistake.
I'm mentally confused because I thought the Alpha Sauber I saw passing Rivers into turn 1 was the one of Copy, but in fact it was the one of Etney. So yeah, he had far better straight line speed due to DRS, and also you get a really good run out of the last turn of the track. So he sealed that overtaking maneuver even before the braking zone.
Well, he's finally managed to get himself a little bit of clear air there, Etney, but he will have lost a lot of time, and he's now 35 seconds behind Sergios up front. Tipsy pits from P2. So we'll see where Tipsy comes out. Vinny also pits from P4.
Triton is really close behind Briggy, so they might be up for some battling soon.
So Tipsy on the medium
Has
tires.
Tipsy changed his helmet? It doesn't look as... Oh,
I don't
maybe
know. I don't
was
remember what his helmet was before. But he's going to come out of the pits, and he's going to be ahead of Etney. So Etney's going to have to pass another car now if he wants to do that. Or he might be okay here because he's on the warmer tires.
Run the outside of Syntax and passing him on the concrete runoff area on the outside of turn 3.
Etney gets it.
So
Etney passes Tipsy Bob there in turn 2 as well around the outside. It was a very nice move from the Sauber driver. And side by side through the chicane. Zintax spins into the wall. Goes Zintax. Oh, it was such a good run. And he
now
really...
will he rejoin? He ghosts, so probably wants to
Oh, very good rejoin. Big fan of that.
Yeah.
Waited for the cars to go past him. Good driving from
That's pretty much how
Syntax.
you want to do that.
Yeah.
And how you are supposed to as well. Loses himself a lot of time, but he loses himself less time than if he may have given himself some damage and screwed someone else's race.
Well, I think he certainly will have damage. He'll probably have to pit. But he's probably not too far away from his window, actually, so he might be okay with that. But, of course, he's lost a bunch of time with that spin. And will be kicking himself for that one. Still a battle for third raging here between Briggy and Jason. Jason in DRS range.
Oh, even ahead of the start-finish line itself, Jugos puts his Haas car already ahead of Syntax.
Yep, so he goes up to P8. Syntax going to have to pit relatively soon. Must have less damage than I thought, but I mean, I assume he's going to be struggling though.
People want to be shown Briggy.
Well, Briggy is right there. He is in third place. I think he's catching /LP for second on the road.
Yes.
That whole group is going to have to pit again quite soon.
Pitted yet.
Yeah, that whole group is going to have to pit.
What is he doing strategic? Yeah, in terms of strategy,
well,
what is he doing?
Presumably it's a one-stop, but he's just running a little bit longer on the soft tyres. It means he can have newer mediums towards the end of the race.
Okay.
So maybe that works out for him. Here's Briggy though at P3. Jason having a look.
Jason is behind Briggy now, so we probably missed that overtake.
Was that an overtake? I thought Briggy was...
I think Briggy was catching up to Jason.
Ah, okay. In which case,
I'm
that's
not
good. Oh, /LP pits.
on this.
/LP pits from what was second, so he's going to come out, I would imagine, well, he's going to be right down the order, isn't he? He's going to be somewhere around P8, P9. Something like that. Tipsy passes in there for 6th. And Hugo's down the start-finish straight now, so yeah, he's going to be just behind Hugo's and just behind Syntax as well. So Syntax presumably stretching those tyres out until he can go onto another set of softs, but he is losing a lot of time. He's lost almost 3 seconds on that lap alone to Hugo's on those fresh mediums.
And Copy now down the inside of /LP. Meanwhile, Vinny is also lurking behind them. Maybe he makes the move as well. /LP keeps it in P10 and Vinny in P11. So Copy, yeah, in the end, Copy comes out as the winner. /LP loses the position and Vinny has spectated a great battle. But now he looks punchy. Yeah. He looks like he wants to do something here. Now through the chicane. Yeah, pretty clean run through sector 2.
So I'm going to keep an eye on this battle for second here. Oh, and Briggy pits, in fact, from second. So Briggy gets himself onto pit road. That'll be his second stop of the race, presumably onto the soft tyres for the final stint.
Yep.
And we'll see where he's going to come out. In the meantime, Jason inherits that second place. He's going to have to pit soon, though. And then Triton behind him. And Etney suddenly isn't looking in such a bad position. He is a long, long way, of course, behind Sergios. But so is everybody else. And he won't have to stop again on those medium tyres.
3.4 seconds behind Triton. And also, yeah, then pretty much 4.5 behind Jason. He should be capable of doing that. I mean, looking at his past performances, of course.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, he's going to inherit those places as soon as those guys come into the pit. So maybe even a second place for Etney today, which will be an incredibly good result. I mean, honestly,
at the moment, if we're not over jinxing it in that way, I shouldn't be saying that, it happens all the time. 3 seconds. Yeah, okay, 3 seconds for Jesse. Tipsy might still, yeah, he is definitely still in contention for P3.
Yep, I think so.
He's
going to have Hugo's behind him.
On Triton and Jason?
Yes, he is. So, well, Jason and Triton, in fact, pitting right now. So.
Okay.
So they will pit, and they will come out probably somewhere around where Briggy is because they pitted together. But Tipsy now inherits what is a real P3 on the road. I think the only person now who has to pit that is in the top 10 is Sergios from the lead, and it doesn't really matter when he pits because he's got more than a pit stop in hand over Etney in that second place.
Yeah, he is currently exiting. Oh, he gets himself a penalty. I saw that.
Oh, side by side for 5th. So Jason and Briggy side by side now coming into turn 2. Briggy on the inside. Jason trying to give him a little bit of a squeeze. Briggy down the inside though into turn 2. Nicely done by the Red Bull driver.
So, yeah, Jason pretty much has the tire advantage, which probably is the reason why he's still so close with running still so close with Briggy.
Big battle behind them as well. There's 4 cars within about a second of each other. 5, in fact, within about a second of each other.
Yeah, building a good chain of
battling
cars.
Triton goes across the chicane, gets himself a penalty.
Triton just had to avoid the chicane.
Yep.
Gets himself a penalty. I don't know. I know for a fact that SlashLP has got 3 seconds worth of penalties, but I don't know about Copy and Vinny
as well. I'm not sure about Copy and Vinny either.
Another person who is about to have a look is Jason, because we are now approaching the start-finish straight, which is probably, not only probably, which is in fact the best overtaking opportunity on the Hungaroring. And now he will open DRS. And let's see if Briggy is able to defend his position. He makes the move to the inside, which is probably the clever thing you want to do. But
switch
now,
back though.
Switch back by Jason. He gets himself a better run, and he gets
done.
Maybe Briggy sends it
back down the inside.
He in fact does.
No, he doesn't have the traction though. He's on those medium tires. Doesn't have the traction to deal with Jason's soft tires, so Jason does get the position. Nicely done by the Force India driver. That was where, of course, he and the 2 Ferraris came together earlier on in the race. The demise of Vance.
Briggy with a bit of a moment there. Something you could say is that Briggy definitely is a driver who sees a gap and then goes for that gap. You could also, you also saw that before in that one maneuver where someone was passing Wimpy and he just sent it down the inside of both. So Briggy is no one who lets you get away with leaving a gap on the inside in a corner.
Well, I think he's going to lose P6 though here on the start-finish straight, because Triton's right behind him on the soft tyres, and he will have the grip advantage.
I honestly don't quite get why he elected to go onto the medium tyre, because... did he maybe start on softs and then...
No, he started on ultras because he started right at the front of the grid, so he didn't need to go onto
he was on P3. And now Triton moves down the inside, and next position
easy peasy
of Briggy is gone. But now he still hangs it down the inside. They are still running side by side. Briggy even having his nose in front, and now he switchbacks. Triton
there wasn't any room
locks
there.
Up himself and doesn't expect Briggy to be where he was.
Yeah, there was not any room on the inside. Triton was keeping that door shut, and Briggy almost getting himself into a little bit of mischief there by trying to slam it down the inside, but did in the end back out of it. Sergios pits from the lead, by the way. Not that that particularly matters. He'll come out still in the lead by quite a distance.
Syntax also passed Anonymous, by the way. Just something further down the order. Now they are P14 and 15. After they had been fighting right at the front of the grid for a good portion of the race.
So Jason going to be catching Hugo's, and I wonder how far Jason can get. Maybe he can even get onto the back of Tipsy, because Tipsy's not all that far ahead. Jason will have the pace advantage. He's on those fresher soft tyres. He's pitted one more time, of course, so he's got Hugo's to deal with first, though. So we'll see if that is something he can do in the next lap or so. Does have the DRS for the front straight into turn 1. And he'll have it as well for the short run down to turn 2. Hugo's going to have to defend this one very stoutly, but I'm not sure there's much value in defending, to be honest. There's still 13 laps to go, and that is a long time to keep somebody on fresher tyres and a softer compounded tyre behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
So with the right-hander coming up to the chicane.
Wait, you were talking about Jason and Hugo's, right?
Yep, that battle for 4th, yep.
Okay, so I got that right. Tipsy might be in danger towards the end of the race if everything between Jason and Hugo's goes as planned and it doesn't end in tears again.
Yep.
Like we have seen once this race. He may also... Okay, no. Yeah, that's probably... that's pretty much Hungary. you don't try to overtake someone apart from turn 1, turn 2, maybe even maybe at least turn 3 if you're still side by side. And apart from that, you just follow the other cars, and maybe if someone makes a great mistake, then you take them.
Probably not close enough here though, Jason. He's got a lot of battery. He's in overtake mode, but he's not anywhere near Hugo's here.
Maybe he sends it. He doesn't. Hugo's with a bit of a lockup.
Thought about it.
But nailed the apex, so it's not really hurting his chances of defending that position. And also Jason touches the rear of Hugo's, basically pushes him wide, so that wasn't the cleanest of maneuvers. Now he goes down the inside of turn 3.
Oh, he's got him. I wonder if the stewards are going to be looking at that. That wasn't a very clean move.
Yeah, Jason, not trying to bash him or anything, but he hasn't had the cleanest of races, and now Hugo's running.
Oh, and he spins!
And Jason, it ends in tears again, and Triton runs into both of them. Briggy up into P5.
Oh no!
Triton really not having his luck with incidents.
What a disaster!
Oh my
he
God, he's
retires.
retired. So ultimately, both Ferraris die in the car of Jason.
Well, we've seen a couple of cars spin there. We saw Hugo's earlier in the race spin there as well.
It's something that happens if you get it wrong. Now he runs wide a bit. Okay. Oh my God! I already see the meme. Who would win? The most traditional team in F1, one pink boy.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Jason is certainly going to have to explain himself, I think, after this race, because lots of
but to be honest,
moves.
the thing that the last thing isn't something he really has to defend himself for. You just lost it.
Briggy ran the outside of Hugo's into turn 1.
Outside into P4 and is now ahead. And Tipsy might be a bit relieved about that. He's now got 4.7 seconds to Hugos and Briggy.
Still got some work to do. Briggy's on fresher tyres than Tipsy.
Genau. That moment when you just throw in occasional German words because you're a very clever person.
So Poppy and Vinny now as well for P8. But yeah, Tipsy might be under threat.
Yes.
He's 4 seconds ahead of Briggy for P3. So Tipsy's still got work to do.
Am I getting this right, or am I getting this wrong, or are Copy and Vinny following each other for more than half the race at this point now?
Yeah, well, they've been on the same strategy, so that's not that surprising. Yeah, they've been together.
I think they are sticking to each other for so long now.
So 8th and 9th at the moment.
Oh, but Briggy is absolutely flying, so Tipsy might still be knocked out of that podium
position. A second and a half on this lap alone from Briggy. Yeah,
I was about to say, if like Briggy is half a second faster per lap, then if Tipsy does good defending, and I know for a fact that Tipsy isn't the easiest driver on the grid to overtake.
Copy and Vinny side by side out of turn 1. Copy on the inside into turn 2 and just squeezes Vinny off track there.
Yeah,
wasn't quite clear of the
on the
Williams.
curb a bit there.
Yep, he did, but gets away with it. They both continue on through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was a bit rough.
But yeah,
Briggy already closed it down to 2 seconds, so and Hugos is following. And Hugos
penalty for Hugos. That's his second of the race.
Speaking of penalties, I will have a look. Who has got a penalty from the people, possibly in contention. So Briggy has got one.
But Hugos has got 2. So Hugos,
but
I think, is going to be a net 3 seconds behind him.
I want to know whether Tipsy has one, because I don't think so.
I don't think I've seen one for Tipsy. I think he's been very disciplined out there.
Yeah, here he's got himself a warning. But I think he's running this very cleanly. Any more penalties? Actual penalties? No. So Briggy should be at 1 warning at the moment, and Tipsy also with 1 warning, and Hugos with a penalty? Is this his 3rd penalty? Because then he's definitely going to drop down the
Maybe it is. I've certainly seen at least 2.
And now, speaking of P9, Vinny with a penalty. That's basically the penalty over... the penalty overflow.
Briggy gets himself a penalty. Yep.
Yeah.
So Briggy now has, what, 6 seconds worth of
behind.
penalties. So Tipsy, even if he does relinquish this third position, and I think he will in the next couple of laps or so, Briggy all over the back of the McLaren, he's going to have to pull out a gap of 6 seconds to be able to actually get that podium position away from Tipsy.
So that's very much possible.
Yep, it is. He's very fast.
Yeah, he's really fast, and also, yeah, he's really good on attacking cars, and now even has a bit of a look down the inside there. Maybe if Tipsy had made a mistake and not nailed the apex or something, then Briggy would have been through, so it kind of made sense.
I think you're better off waiting, though. You get the DRS advantage on the front straight, and you can take a wide swing as Briggy does onto the front straight here. Not a great run, though. Tipsy did manage to get the better of that by the looks of it. Is Tipsy going to go to the inside?
He should now move to the inside. He doesn't, so he so he allows Briggy to go. And maybe he's speculating on a back move, but no. He's not able to pull one off. 6 seconds is the benchmark.
So maybe with that penalty in mind, Tipsy just letting Briggy go. But yeah, he's going to have to stay with the Red Bull now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the gap throughout the past laps, gloves and steering wheel. Meanwhile, passing. Oh, Ocean G. Oh, he's in the pits. Okay, never mind then. At the moment, gloves and steering wheel is in the last points paying position.
Oh, and a bit of a moment there for Hugo as he loses 5th place to Jason into the chicane.
Side by side through the chicane, and he now avoids the inside curb on the chicane.
So what happened there? Yeah, Hugo's on the inside of the right-hander. Hugo's just got a little bit loose, and that little oversteer moment let Jason get alongside.
Syntax penalty
in P11, so he's going to be looking at gloves and steering wheel, I think, in the next couple of laps as well on much better tyres. So we'll see if that penalty ends up mattering. There's the ghost of Speedy from the start of the race. We saw him disconnect from the front row of the grid. So here is what is still a battle for 5th and 6th, but Jason, I think, is going to be pulling away pretty easily from the Haas of Hugo's. Much better tyres on that Force India.
Okay. So
look at the gap that Etney's pulled out as well from Briggy. That's really impressive on older tyres. He's got 18 seconds in that Sauber ahead of Briggy. So really impressive performance. A great comeback drive from Etney, making sure the deficit in the championship isn't too severe to Sergios at the end of this one. And I think as well he will get 2nd place in the championship, because of course no points for Speedy today.
Yeah, so, he will definitely take that 2nd position.
Yep.
Something I just read, I mean, it was pretty obvious, but Triton expressed that he is also not really happy about Jason today. Of course. I think stewards will have a look about what happened this race.
So Jason all over the back of Tipsy now for this 4th position. What is the 4th position, at least on the road? Not sure what the penalty situation is. We know Tipsy doesn't have one, but not sure whether Jason has one or not. Not quite close enough this time to turn 1 though.
I can have a look.
So follows through turn 1, gets the DRS for turn 2 as well, but again not close enough to have a look at the McLaren this time. Has to run out wide. Through turn 3 as well, following the McLaren. So we're going to keep an eye on this, and Tipsy already has lost 4 seconds or so to Briggy.
He has a bit of a look. He sticks in his nose, and now he pushes Tipsy a bit wide.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, also, I just looked it up. Jason is currently sitting at 2 warnings without a penalty. So this was a pass for position now. Is Hugos able to claim the position of Tipsy?
Maybe. He's on slightly older tyres, but does seem to have more pace in that Haas. But Hugos, of course, does have multiple penalties. We know that. So
yeah, so he should be able to keep the position. Meanwhile, Rivers retires. That's
not sure
I'll ride on board with Urchin Chief to find out whether that was an accident. Yes, no, it wasn't.
I didn't see what happened.
It looks like he parked it. I couldn't see a wheel missing, and it looked like the position where his car was parked look like somewhere the AI would put a car. Meanwhile, Jesse having a fun off-track moment.
Well, Jesse is 3 laps down. I'm not quite sure how, but presumably that's not the first of his off-track escapades today.
For me, he's 1 lap down, but
well, he's a lap down on the ghost of Speedy.
And he puts it into the wall.
So, yeah, Jesse not having the best race as Tipsy and Hugos go through.
Oh, never mind, he is
right-hander.
He's just 1 lap.
He's a lap behind the ghost of Speedy, which is very impressive.
Exactly. Confused me a bit.
So Hugos following Tipsy through the twisty bits in the second sector. Going to have probably a good DRS slingshot onto the front straight, but of course, and he gets it all wrong into the right-hander there, gets very wide. Big oversteer moment for Hugos, gets away with it though.
Jesse again into, Jesse ran into, Jesse spun into the pit, so this is basically crippling depression at the moment.
Yeah, not having the best race, Jesse. He's struggled a little bit this season.
Yeah,
continues to struggle today.
How you could say it as well. I wonder if Tipsy has received the message that Hugos has got a penalty. So maybe that will, change his approach to the upcoming on-track battle between those two.
Yeah, presumably he will know that he's got a penalty at least. I'm not sure whether he'll know that he's got so many penalties. He's got 3 at least.
At the moment, Hugos really has to push, and he has to make the pass really fast, because then he would still be able to drive himself out of the reach of Copy and Vinny. Currently, he would be behind both of them.
3 seconds for Jason. That's a big deal.
3 seconds.
That's a big deal, because he was running ahead of Briggy, at least on the score sheet, with those 6 seconds of penalties for Briggy. But now Jason gets 3, so that moves him, at least for now, behind Tipsy and certainly behind Briggy for the time being for that 3rd place.
Yep. It is in fact a big deal. Now he would have to gain 2.5 seconds. Briggy is really doing consistent laps further down the road.
Yeah, and I wonder if those soft tyres on Jason's car have seen better days. I wonder if they're struggling to quite the extent that maybe they should be.
Ben's warned us about a glitch or a bug in multiplayer that for Hungary the tires do fall off a cliff and then are pretty much undrivable, and that doesn't occur in single player, so I assume it's a glitch. We don't know. We don't know for a fact, but maybe
Sergios puts in the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah.
With 2 laps to go, that's pretty insane. 18.2. Sergios, it's been a masterclass today from him.
Yeah. Showing why he's the championship leader.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a battle further behind as well for this 7th place. The 3 cars running in relatively close proximity. It's Slash LP in front of Copy, who's in front of Vinny, and as you said earlier on, those two have been together.
Oh, Slash LP with another penalty.
Yeah, he ran wide on the right-hander there, so yeah, I think he's going to be behind these guys. Pretty much whatever happens.
Yeah, with my Hugos calculations, I completely forgot the fact that the cars behind him probably also have penalties. He should stay ahead of Slash LP.
Yeah, I don't know whether everyone though, because I think Hugos, if he's got 9 seconds, then even if one of those 3 has only 3 seconds, Hugos is not going to get that 6th place at the end of the race. It'll be interesting to see.
Wait. No, he is.
But Hugos has 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh, he has got 9. I thought 6.
I think he's got 9. I thought that was what you said. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. And Anonymous. Oh, Anonymous collides with gloves and steering wheel, but not really. Hard impact. Just a bit in turn 1. So he dived down the inside and then understeered a bit and ran into gloves and steering wheel. So nothing dramatic there. And Sergios is now on his final lap, approaching turn 4, gloves and steering wheel, gets himself a penalty.
Yep, absolutely.
Hugos really close behind Tipsy Bob.
And Slash LP really close to Copy as well. So yeah, I don't know about this battle in front. I'm going to keep my eyes on this battle behind as well, because /LP, I'm not sure if this is for position or not, but certainly it could be. So
I think Copy might have this due to penalties.
okay.
I'm not sure.
So /LP at the moment seems like he's got it on the track at least, because Copy, again on those very old medium tyres, 20 laps old now, so he's going to be struggling for grip. And into turn 1 they go, and yeah, he's not really close enough to do anything. Battle for
last lap of the race.
10th here between Zintax and Anonymous. I think this might be a real battle.
ZAMAJORS completely dominant, weaving a bit on the straight, and he finishes another dominant race in first position.
Yep.
Out of Etni, who's now exiting, now exiting the penultimate corner of his race to get the upper hand in the championship over Speedy, but also lose 7. Oh, wow. That's a parked Jesse on the line, basically.
Oh dear.
That looked a bit weird. So he
gets
up into P2 in the championship. So congrats to him, but also he drops 7 points in the direct fight with Sergius.
Yep, absolutely. So it's going to be what, like you said, it was 47 earlier, so it's now 54 between the two of them, which is a big gap to have to overcome.
Briggy currently in P3.
Yep, he
I don't know
gets that
when
P3.
the penalties get counted.
I think they've already applied, I'm pretty sure, which is why Hugos has fallen behind Copy for 6.
Yes.
So Copy, despite being several seconds behind on the road, finishes ahead of Hugos.
So congrats to Briggy for a podium. I think, yeah, probably his first. Yeah, he didn't get one, or did he get one in Hockenheim? Not sure.
And Zintax gets himself a point on his debut as well.
Yeah,
so
congrats
well
to
done,
him as well.
Zintax.
I think, and that even after he crashed, I think. Yeah. He probably... Did he crash out?
Did who crash out, sorry?
Syntax. I think Syntax crashed at a point.
He spun...
With Anonymous?
No, he spun at
Thimo
the chicane one lap.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think he was racing with Copy and that group.
Yeah, total confusion. Definitely kept track of everything, lol.
So there is the result. Sergios with the 25 points for the race win. Etni with a very good recovery drive after a disaster of a start. He finishes second.
Also, props to Tipsy, Copy, and Etni finishing without any penalties.
Yep, fantastic.
And also, okay, never mind, Speedy.
Well, yeah, Speedy finished without any penalties because he wasn't there for the whole race. So unfortunate for Speedy, had to retire very early on. But yeah, Briggy with that podium as well. Good stuff from Briggy. He suffered a bit at the start, but fought his way back. Jason had a very incident-packed race. Ended up 4th. Tipsy, as you said, no penalties, finishes 5th. Very good result for him on his return to that McLaren. And then Copy rounding out the top 6 in the Sauber. So that pretty much does it. And Sergios with a commanding lead in the championship now, 54 points over Etni, who takes second from Speedy.
Yep.
So I think that just about does it. I think we're... it's been an interesting race. We had some good battling and some good fighting and some incidents in this one, and some tears. Yeah, there were several battles that ended in tears, but yeah, it's good for us. Lots of incident.
Yes, it's good for us. Bad for the drivers. Perfect. So
where are we next? Is it Spa?
Spa?
It's Spa next.
Spa.
That's very exciting.
Hey.
So,
yeah, especially if you've watched the ZAMAJORS tournament. It was a great Grand Prix.
Yep.
So
yeah, we'd like a repeat of that. That would be good.
Yeah, please stretch it over 22 laps this time.
So yeah, join us for that next time. That'll be fantastic. But any final words, Thimo?
Thanks for watching. Join us next week. That's it.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.
See you.